What's up, everybody? Today I'm doing a reaction video to the Transgender Prostitutes interview, Shay and Zori, by Soft White Underbelly. The interviewer is Mark Laisha, and I watch these interviews for educational and informational purposes. So I hope you enjoy, like, comment, and subscribe. I'm trying to be more consistent with my videos, and I appreciate all your support for almost helping me reach 300 followers or subscribers. It really means a lot to me, and I want to continue this journey. So I appreciate all of you for watching and helping me almost reach 300 subscribers.
All right. What are your names?
Zori Blanca.
What is it?
Zori Blanca.
Zori,
Yes.
Blanca, and
Yeah.
I'm Shay Blanco. Sorry.
So Shay and Zori.
Yeah.
I'll stick with that. Where are you guys from originally? Where'd you grow up?
I'm Flint, Michigan.
I'm from Illinois,
What part?
small city outside of Chicago, Waukegan.
You know it. And tell me about your family's growing up. You had mom and dad?
Well, my mom and dad. My mom sent me to my dad when I was like 2, so I lived with my dad.
Okay.
I was pretty much raised by my grandmother.
Where was your mom and dad?
My parents were mainly incarcerated in and out of prison.
And Zori, your mom gave you up. Why?
Because she wasn't ready for kids, so my dad just took the responsibility.
She was young, or she was?
Yeah, she was young.
She was young. Okay. How young was she?
I was 17.
17.
Yeah, my dad was 19.
Okay.
Yeah.
How would you describe your childhoods?
It was like the black sheep. I'm a black sheep. So like I raised to myself, raised myself on my sexuality, and then being molested by my mom's brother.
At what age?
5.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but I didn't let my dad know until I was 13. So, yeah. So
Rough childhood.
yeah. So I hit it when I was 16. He gave me an ultimatum: change my sexuality or get out. I chose to leave. So I've been hitting the streets since then.
Wow. That's a hard ultimatum. You can't just change that
Yeah, I know, right?
easily.
So Zori Blanca, which I think that's what she goes by, she was told to either change her sexuality or leave the house when she was 16. And I mean, for her, that probably affected her in a way where it kind of messed her mind up a little bit. It is a really hard ultimatum, like Mark said. Yeah, this is gonna be an interesting interview from what I see so far.
Well, pretty much me, like I said before, I grew up with my grandmother. My parents sold drugs. So we were like, I experienced like getting the raid, like my father getting raided and shit. And my dad left when I was like 14 and he went to prison. And my mom, it was either him or my mom that was gonna because they were under, the feds were watching them or whatever the case may be, but it was either him or her. So she had to get on the stand and, so I pretty much grew up with my grandmother. My mom and my dad was always in jail.
How far you guys go in school?
I graduated
You did?
and I did some college.
Really?
Yeah, but I was put out of the city schools, so I never made it to high school, so I had to go to job court. And I had to do like the 10th, 11th, 12th grade in 1 year, and then I got my nursing license. And I was doing those 3 years.
You worked as a nurse for a while?
CNA, yeah. I had to quit.
What about you, Shay?
Me, I didn't graduate. I dropped out when I was in like 9th grade. I started, you guys call it prostitution. I call it
What do you call it?
companionship to men. Yeah, but
Entertaining men, I call it.
exactly, yeah. Yeah, so I ended up dropping out or whatever, and I just started living the street life because my grandmother, she only could afford like certain shit growing up, and I always wanted the best, so I guess I had to go get it by any means like that.
Right. Where'd you guys meet?
Flint, Michigan.
Flint, Michigan, yeah.
So you call yourself sisters, but you're not
Yeah.
really sisters.
No.
Yeah, that's my sister.
You're just friends.
No, that's
I just want to say that's pretty cool how they're both from two different states, and she's from Zori. She is from Michigan, and Shay Blanco something or Blanca. She's from Illinois. So it's like they grew up from two different parts of the country, and they still came together and still have so much in common to the point where like they now call each other sisters. So I think that's very interesting, and it's kind of heartwarming because they kind of consider themselves I don't know how to say it. It's like two pieces of the same cloth, or two cuts from the same cloth, I believe it how they say it is. So it's cool, you know. Yeah, I wish the best for them. I'm pretty sure they have a really nice story to tell and lessons to be learned from each and every one of their events in their lives.
No, we're sisters.
That's my sister.
We've been.
You're a biological sister?
no.
I got it. Okay. So you're sisters.
Yeah.
Got it. And you came to LA when?
2015.
2015.
Yeah.
And
We went to Atlanta first, though.
Yeah.
We
We used to take the map. Wherever the coin dropped is a city, is a state we just up and just went to. Like
Chicago, Detroit, Atlanta, LA.
yeah,
You like rough cities.
pretty much.
So you're staying on Skid Row now?
no, right now I just got housing, so we have an apartment now.
You've been on the streets before that?
Yeah, I've been since I was 16.
Really?
Same year.
In a tent or what?
I just did the tent like the last past 2 years when I got in a relationship with someone. But before that, it was just homeless. I just didn't do the streets, the tent thing. But I've been homeless since I was 16.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, no tent. But I pretty much been in the streets. I just, like I said, I always hustled, you know, kept a room and things like that. When we came here, like when I came, I was staying in Oklahoma and I almost got married to a certified electrician, and you know, he found out I was prostituting, and I was with him for like 2.5 years, right before I moved here to LA. I was here before she came.
And so you guys, how are you supporting yourselves now?
Right now,
Entertaining men still?
yes.
Pretty much, yeah. It's a lot of things I do, you know?
You can make good money doing that here.
Yes, with no distractions. With no distractions.
Do you have distractions?
No. I'm my biggest distraction.
What about drugs?
Drugs, yes, I dabble in that. Who don't?
So crystal meth?
This game, you're not ready for it.
Excuse me?
Crystal meth?
I wouldn't necessarily say crystal meth. I'm gonna say I'm hardcore with that. Yeah, I live a fast life. Yeah.
Just like a lot of these interviews, a lot of people say, you know, they're still learning their lessons. They're still going through these things, and that's one thing I do appreciate about these interviews is they're not just people that have like the best. They're not in the most successful people in the best position. They're still going through these things, and that's what I think is important about learning from people while they're going through like drug addictions, mental illness, physical dysfunctional, all that type of stuff, because they can show you, you know, your life isn't as hard as some people might have it. And I mean, you got it good, and you just have to really look around and see what you got in order to be grateful. So that, you know, I really appreciate Soft White Underbelly, the whole thing, just because it teaches you so much.
But yeah.
Crystal meth,
Crystal meth. It's I
crystal
like
meth is a popular drug with
it is.
the trans community.
That was like the first thing they asked us when we got off the plane. Like, it's like the thing to do now, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not what you do, how you do it, I guess.
Are you guys happier in LA than you were in other cities?
Yeah. Yeah, it's just way fast. Yeah.
One thing I do gotta say is, like, even though you could be one day sober, you gotta be proud of that one day sober. It's not like it's a big accomplishment, because some people have get sick when they don't have their drugs and stuff like that. So you gotta be grateful, and you gotta really look at it like one day is one big step. Like, that one day that you're sober, that's one huge step towards becoming sober and just free from drug addiction.
I learned a lot. I've been to prison. Since I've been here, I learned confidence. A lot of things I've learned, I'm still learning to this day.
What were you in prison for?
Someone put their hands on me, assaulted me, so I altercation.
Say how you said, GB, what?
A great body. Assault with a deadly weapon.
I interrupted you. You were saying you've learned a lot of things.
Yeah.
What have you learned?
Like I said, confidence. My confidence got stronger. Patience. I was, no one said I was a pushover, but I'm very nice. So I kind of got this backbone. Right now I'm just trying to figure out now I have to figure out what I like and what I don't like again, from being homeless to going back to the normal life again.
Right.
And okay, so
that's not an easy adjustment sometimes.
No.
Especially
you think it would be, but I think it's hard for a lot of people.
That's one thing I would say is, if, for example, say if you don't have a roof over your head, right, and then you finally get help or assistance, it's like you're not trying to make that assistance, you're not trying to throw that in the trash, you know. You don't want to abuse anything, but you want to take advantage of your opportunities. And sometimes it just goes step by step. You start realizing things like, well, I didn't realize I needed that. You didn't realize you needed some things in your life beforehand that you were just avoiding the whole time. You didn't even realize it. For example, you forgot to buy yourself a toothbrush and toothpaste. Say you're just homeless and on the streets, and you just, I don't know how to brush my teeth anymore, so you just stop doing that. And then you start realizing, oh wait, I really need a toothbrush and toothpaste now that I finally got, someone told me, and I finally got the assistance, someone that provided me with a toothbrush and toothpaste. So it's now you know to brush your teeth because you weren't seeing those things beforehand.
Especially when especially when you're out on the streets, because when we came here, we the only one, we only had of each other, you know what I mean?
It's great that you have a good friend in each other.
Oh, yes. And it was kind of hard when she went to prison. Because I just started indulging in crystal meth or whatever, and she ended up leaving, and it was I'm I'm around these people that I really don't want to be around, and I'm watching people try to get me high to the point where sometimes you lose yourself off of crystal meth if you don't do it the right way. However, but I overcame the battle.
And being trans is much easier here.
Yeah. Yes. The life of because you never really find trans that is in a relationship that is a man that's comfortable
or open.
And here the men are comfortable with being with their trans woman in public, despite however they look. They don't mind. They're for them. Even if they're for females, they're still for the trans. So that's what I really like about it.
There's a lot of people on the down low.
Here I don't even think down low even exists here. Because it's not being bisexual or not even just being just liking what you like is normal here.
No, it's
just liking what you like.
As long as it looks good.
Yeah. Whatever moves you.
Do you guys feel like you were always meant to be trans?
I never looked at it as being trans. Because back at home before I transitioned, I was like,
One thing I would just say is they're comfortable in their own skin, and I remember I was told that once where someone was saying that they were becoming more comfortable in their own skin, and I learned not to judge anyone based off your sexual preferences and all that stuff because it it really has no effect on anyone else except you, and that's your personal life. And even though people say, oh, they're happy about being out in the open about it, I mean, yeah, because they learn to accept it. And when you get so many people, when you got numbers that are believing that, then I feel like it becomes stronger. And just in general, they say they're in Los Angeles, so that's where it's like it really matters. Is people come from all different walks of life, and they could come together and still have something in common. So I appreciate them for their story. This is meaningful because I want everyone to learn. You got to be comfortable in your own skin. You got to be comfortable with your fears. You got to be comfortable and overcome them. You got to overcome those battles. Even though they're still addicted to drugs, or anyone can be addicted to drugs, you can still overcome that battle.
really not to. I really didn't have a lot of information, knowledge on them, but I always knew that I was female.
Yeah. But you feel like you were born that way?
Yeah, yeah.
You too, Zoe?
My biggest accomplishment, I think it's there. I've been transitioning since I was 16.
Was there any abuse in your childhood?
Yeah, I'm like, oh no, yes. My dad didn't. He didn't go for it. Like, I used to be like terrified of him, like and I'm accepted at home, but it's like they had to grow into it,
Was there any sexual abuse in your childhood?
Yes. My mom's friend, weirdo. Her son was a weirdo, and he used to I sucked his dick at 7. It's bad I say that, but it's true though, and it's like it scarred me. It had me doing things I probably wouldn't normally be doing. You know what I mean? But I've always been a girl.
Are you doing hormones or anything like that?
Yes, I take hormones. I've been on hormones for since I was 18, on and off.
How do taking female hormones affect a biological male?
Fuck. Especially with the, I think she caught her first case off the hormones.
I call it as just being pregnant without the baby. You just have all the mood swings, all the adjustments. If you're in a relationship, the guy don't have knowledge on it, so he think that you're using that as an excuse for everything, and it's pushing the buttons, and you were ticking off. Don't know why you ticked off. Don't know why you going, but everything is overboard. Like when you ticked off, the littlest thing just piss you off. It's like a pregnant woman. You have the same mood swings as a pregnant woman.
How old are you guys?
I'm 32.
I'm 28.
And is it easy to make friends in this community, or is it just you just hang out with each other?
Where we from, the LGBTQ community is not big in the city where we was staying at, but so it really just been us. But we never was really into the LGBT community like that. We always around heterosexual men. Yeah. That didn't hang around.
Like who wasn't so open, they more discreet,
Yeah, and that's where DL was at.
But there's a lot of heterosexual men that are into trans women.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're the new thing.
I attract more heterosexual men than
men of the LGBT.
Yeah, men of the LGBT community more, just because of the vibe and the energy. Like a man want to give, he want to be around you. Let me see.
It's an interesting.
It's levels. So many levels to being. So many levels.
Yeah, because not everybody can you just can't wake up and be like, oh my God, I want to be a girl. Yeah. It doesn't work like that, But it's very expensive. It's expensive, but it's very much so.
Have you had surgeries?
Oh no, not yet.
This is your hormones that's making you look so feminine?
Oh yeah, these are me. Oh yeah, I accomplished these with I'm sorry. Yeah, these are I accomplished these with just taking hormones, being consistent on them, and things like that. Before I left home though, my family didn't see all of this. You know what I mean? So it's it's a struggle for me to go back. I haven't been back home in 9. How long has it been? 9 years.
You've been home.
And you're happy.
Yes.
You guys seem happy.
Yeah.
What's the roughest part of this lifestyle for you?
Shit. Ooh.
The my personal life. It's just being with, getting close to someone, that just trying to get close to someone, or trying to make people understand you. It's a job by itself.
I'ma say the men and the meth.
Yes,
Men and meth do not mix. I swear.
And that takes a big part of your life.
It does.
Like, if you're in love with a man,
Just describe a man on meth.
A man on meth. It's always
never faithful.
never faithful. You it's always going to be infidelity. If I'm saying it right, excuse me. And
What's they call it?
Hallucination.
Yeah,
and
thinking
it's
something
that's not. And then 95. Would you say 95?
95% of the time. That's what I told her. Like 95% of the time, it's the crystal meth. So I had to tell myself, like, okay, I have to keep saying, because some people really lose it. Some people really think, and like I refuse to go back and forth over something that is not true, and it's only because of the drug, and that it's hard to explain to someone that's high, because I know from experience, when you're high, whatever you think and feel that's what you're gonna die for. That's what you believe. So there's no proving you or trying to convince you.
That does kind of it does kind of, it's not fortunate that when some people when they're on drugs, they how they feel is how they're like thinking, or like how the thinking is how they're acting. And I would say that sometimes it's hard to level, because say, for example, you're talking to someone and they're on drugs, whatever, right? And they're so paranoid that they start acting paranoid. Like they're paranoid in their head. They think, oh, everyone's watching me. Everyone's like schizophrenic episode or something, right? Or like they think, oh, someone is coming after me or something, right? So they start acting like that, and then I think that's where it really messes it up. Is where it's like you got to level yourself. Like once you hit that one paranoid episode, you just got to just knock it off. Like, but that's what I think they're trying to say is there's so many levels to it that you just keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it, and then you're just like no control at all. But I mean, that's just from my opinion.
It's not. So I have to say 95% of the time,
It's the drug.
crystal meth.
But I say fuck that. Because it's like you have to, excuse my language, but you have to look at the picture. Always, like, one thing we always told each other is no matter what it is, you always look at the picture. And if the picture might seem a little off, you got to take your time out. You got to put yourself in other people's shoes when you're on crystal meth. This is my evaluation. You have to put yourself in another person's shoes. Like, okay, well, maybe it could be this way. You always got to think for I've always been a person that have to think for the whole table. Like, I'm leading us we're going somewhere. Me and her, we're gonna take us somewhere. And we always got,
See, I always thought, as a square male, that you guys would want to be women, meaning you would want to cut off your male equipment and stuff like that.
No, it's because...
But you actually want to keep it.
Yeah, because it's okay. It's besides us being female, us mentally being female, we are into men. But men, you have men that don't want to see it or don't want to touch it, but it's just a thought. It's the fetish. It's becoming a fetish. Yeah, It's just the thought of me being with a woman with the extra part versus a woman with all the surgery, and they're like, well, I can get me a real female. Like, it defeats the purpose of them wanting to be with a trans.
I've heard that trans women will make more money on the street than a...
Yes, we do. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but believe it or not, guys make more money on the street.
The gay men.
Yeah.
A gay man.
Yeah.
A gay man, not dressed as a woman, but just...
No, but like the manly men,
They just don't take advantage of it because trans community has made it so easy and comfortable for them to feel comfortable with us, knowing that when you think of a trans, you automatically think hustle. She's going to steal, and she's going to get it, and she's prostituting.
Yeah.
So a lot of trans made it comfortable for men to come and, okay, I ain't got to do nothing.
I know this isn't kind of what they're talking about, but like from what I'm looking at, it's like I said, they're just two cuts from the same cloth. Like, it's like they're one person, and then you're just like, apart, but they're still together in a way. It's like it's like how twins kind of talk. You know, it's kind of like how twins speak. Like how they say they kind of read their own minds. It's like they're reading each other's minds, and it's pretty amazing. It's just that's something you don't come across every day.
Because they know the trans are going to go, they're going to work, they're going to make sure everything
Is there a lot of crazy drama when you guys get picked up on the street?
I've been took to Long Beach, my first time in Long Beach. This is like our second one here. And I was with a guy, and I have a sleeping, like I have sleep disorder. And like, so it's like, I crashed, and he's trying to leave me, and I end up waking up, and long story short, we end up leaving. He asked me if I trust him. I said, yeah. Long story short, we goes to Long Beach. We goes to Compton. And I just feel this eerie feeling. And I goes my first mind. Never been in that predicament. Never knew what I would do if I was in that predicament. I just felt like something was going to happen. And yeah, they tried to set me up. I don't know what was going to happen. So I just hit it and like ran from Long Beach to Compton to the train station. I don't know where I was going. It's crazy.
But you're never getting beaten up or anything like that?
Fights, yeah, where we're from. More fights where we're from. Like, where we're from, you're going to let's just do what you're going to do. Like, you're going to leave home, and you just prepare yourself because they're not gay friendly at all.
I had tricks that came up to me because I wouldn't date them. And I'm fighting in the middle of the street with this guy, all because I wouldn't date him. And, yeah, I'd have been put in some crazy ass situations where I went with this one guy, because me and her had a rule when we first came is 3 days. If I see you, we have to see each other in 3 days. Like 3 days is the max you can be gone, the longest. And this guy ended up taking me, and I get in the car with him and shit. We goes all the way like out far. It was Altadena. I know what it is now, but back then I didn't know what it was. We're in Altadena. And I thought I could have sworn this guy was gonna fucking kidnap me, but I think I talked my way out of it. But you know, and then it was just like, yeah, it was crazy as shit. Oh, yeah, crazy. I don't know.
I just told her when we first moved here, I said, just know, being here was the most craziest, scariest, filthiest, nastiest, weirdest thing that you ever thought. Someone does it here in California, because California has a little bit of someone all over the world. All over the world. So the possibility you think of is happening. Someone is doing it actually into that, and it's scary.
Yeah, I had my friend try to sell me for a ball. This guy, one of my homegirls, well, I thought was.
Just like another interview, like this guy was talking about how it was like a sugar baby, and he was explaining how the more people, the more money, and the more, like, pretty much the richer the person, the weirder things they start asking for. Like the weirder fetishes they have is like the higher class people. So, I mean, that doesn't have to be 100% true, but that's from what I remember them saying. And I mean, it probably is true. It probably isn't, but I mean, I'm just putting that out there because that's what I remember watching on one of these interviews as well.
Homegirl, this guy wanted to meet me and shit, and then I'm not knowing she already talking to him on the phone and shit, and coming to find out she's trying to fucking sell me, and I'm not knowing, and we in the room gets crazy, the guy's trying to fucking lock me in the motherfucking closet, all types of shit, and you know, I had to fucking, thank God I fucking got out of there, you know, I climbed out the fucking bathroom window, and it was, yeah, we've been through a lot here, though. It's been a lot.
Do you have any regrets in your life?
No, look at me. Yeah, no, I love LA. Fuck no.
What would you say is the most important lesson you guys have learned in your life?
Loyalty and sanity.
Say the last one again. Sanity.
I tell people there's the two things I own in this world. It's my pussy and my sanity. I control those two.
Exactly. Don't touch my man, my dog,
and my sister.
And don't fuck with me when I sleep.
I don't woke up in alleys with fingers in my ass. It's crazy, like so much stuff that happened. It didn't happen here. Like,
left that out. Girl, no, you should left that out.
I tell you, it's crazy.
And what about, are you doing this safely or sometimes without a condom?
Oh shit, I almost said my favorite line.
2013, I was diagnosed with HIV.
Oh, you're HIV positive?
Yeah. So yes, but nowadays it seems like it's the new orange. Like even if you didn't acknowledge it, they don't care. As long as if you're off the drug, they don't care.
Ooh.
They're gonna do
So
it.
guys will have tricks will have unprotected sex.
Yes, they will. They some prefer it, some don't. It all depends. I usually judge a man off if you don't have one on you. That means you can't. We can't have it because therefore you.
If I ask you to
yeah,
use it?
you're not using it with no one else.
Yeah, so it's just filthy. Like if I have to ask you, if you know we're finna have an encounter, and you know you're coming to me, like, of course you should already have the condoms. Like if you don't have the condom, even if I do have some, and then that's when I start charging. Oh yeah, baby, we gotta go get extra condoms and things like that. You know what I mean? So it's like it's just all about how you finesse the situation. It's like.
And like, cause my ex-boyfriend, I watched him. I watched him, and I fell in love with somebody who don't believe in condoms, and he has sex. He's into both, female and men. So, yeah, I can't. I've learned to know. I used to keep a purse full.
And Shay, you are HIV negative or positive?
Me, I don't want to disclose that,
Okay.
but yeah, I use protection. I use protection all the time. That's what I stand for. I try to prevent, the next motherfucker from, not even just. You always got to protect yourself, like out there, like we said before. If I have to ask you to use a condom, it's like, it's because people are really out here trying to get you, and it's like I didn't watch somebody who I knew had HIV, and I watched them intentionally, try to have sex with me, and then, but they always say it takes two. You have to, because if you don't ask, yeah.
That's wild, but I mean, you can't judge anyone because, like she said, like people are out there intentionally trying to do it. It's like misery loves its company, and that's just what they're saying. Is there's people like headhunting just to get everyone sick. I was reading yesterday, like, oh, all these rising cases of like hepatitis A, and I think that's it's pretty messed up. It's just unfortunate. I mean, you still can't judge anyone based off of that, but the truth is the truth.
All right, Shay and Zoe, thank you so much for sharing your stories.
Thank you.
I wish you guys lots of luck. I hope you guys do whatever you do safely. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I'm very safe. Thank you.
Thanks, you guys.
Oh, thank you guys for having us. Part two.
Thank you, Shay and Zoe Blanco, for the awesome interview. You taught me so much, lessons learned, educational purposes, and that mattered to me. So I appreciate you for being comfortable in your own skin and sharing that story. Mark Laisha from Soft White Underbelly, thank you so much for this awesome interview. And what you do really makes a big difference. And I support your channel. To everyone else, thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Share your opinions, your thoughts, and I would appreciate it. Thank you.